This is You, the Lifestylist channel, and today I have the pleasure to interview one of my beautiful friends, Tina Bangel. Tina Bangel is one of Sydney's well-respected vocal coaches and professional singers. She has inspired many students, thousands of students, to use music as a form of self-development. Her students have performed at Disneyland, Universal Studios and Hollywood. Many have been in professional productions such as The Lion King and The Sound of Music. Hey Tina, thank you so much for coming today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Fee. I'm so excited to be here and to finally see you. It's been such a long time, like a whole year.
Yeah.
And
so many things has happened, Tina. And you know what, I was just thinking, how many years, 20 years that you were saying you've been in the industry of music.
I know, I feel old. You know, a lot of the kids that I teach have grown up, and they're, you know, some of them have gone and they've got kids now and have been engaged and been married.
So good.
And that's how I know, you know, that I'm older.
It's really good. Teaching. Like, I mean, it means that you're really, really passionate about what you're doing, and you're really in there engaged and ready to serve and, you know, put in your life and share your life with your students. So 20 years. Will you tell us how it started? Like, how did you become a vocal coach and how did it all start for you?
Yeah, well, it actually was an accident that I fell into vocal coaching. I was lucky enough to go to a performing arts school after a friend of mine said, you know, come along, I do singing lessons now, come to my class and see if you like it. And so I ended up doing a class and I did enjoy it. I loved the freedom and all the people that were there. I felt like I belonged. And then eventually the principal of the school said to me, oh, you know, one of my teachers is about to leave, so I'm trying to look for a singing teacher.
So good,
And I put my hand up. And I had only been doing singing for a little while, but I knew I had the passion to maybe give back what I learned. And then I learned from different vocal coaches and took on their advice and asked them lots of questions. And then I ended up going to the Institute of Music as well to study the voice. And it was a big change for me because at the time I had just finished my degree in food and nutrition.
Wow.
So it was like
that's totally different.
Yeah, totally different. I worked in the industry for a while, did my, you know, learnt from vocal coaches and then worked in the industry for Jenny Craig actually. I was a weight loss consultant. So I was helping a lot of people in that perspective. But then all the opportunities came to me and it was all music. And it kind of stirred me into that direction. And the principal of the school always said, you know, do you want to do some talent quests? And so she put me into doing talent quests around the clubs in Sydney. And
so you performed?
I did. I performed. I wasn't very good at the talent quests when I first started. I remember just standing there singing, even though my singing teacher had told me, you know, use your arms and move around. But when you are overwhelmed with the people looking at you, like you're on stage, I was like, oh, I just would want to get it over and done with, and I would just sing. And then eventually, the more that I did it, the more I learned how to perform and just, you know,
and gain that confidence and
gain the confidence, learn from watching other people. It was it was a great experience. And then there were actually agents that would watch the talent quests, and then that's how I got some gigs. So they would say, you know, would you like a gig here? And they'd bring me interstate as well. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a learning experience, and I used it as a learning experience, not to win, but to actually learn about, you know, how to talk to the musicians and teach how to talk about my song and how to talk to the audience members as well.
Yeah.
So it was
so good.
And I'm still learning.
Yes, like what we were saying before the interview, I'd like people to know about that. You know, that what happens behind the scenes is actually a big deal.
Yeah.
How many takes have we tried today? But you know, it's a trial and error. We learn as we go.
Exactly.
And you know, I'm so proud of you, Tina, because now, I mean, as we were saying, 20 years in the industry, you were teaching. And will you tell us a little bit more about the Kindermusik too, which grew out from that, you know, vocal coaching?
Yeah. So when you were saying that it was all trial and error, that's what it was all about. You know, trial and error. Eventually, when I went to the Performing Arts School and I taught there for a number of years, I thought, okay, I'm going to try it on my own. So I went and did, you know, vocal coaching from home, and I didn't have a name for it. So I would just say, you know, to people, I teach singing, and I didn't have a name until, and this is what I was referring to about trial and error. Sometimes when we wait, and in business we wait for that perfect time, but there never is a perfect time.
No, there's none.
And I was going to just say that when I started my singing lessons, I would invite my students to have a performance at a concert, you know. So I'd hire out a small hall, and then we'd get them to perform in front of the families. Then one day I thought, okay, I'm going to just make it bigger. So I wanted to have the concert at the Riverside Theatre at Parramatta. And the lady said, okay, what's your school's name? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a name for the school. But then the song that we were going to open up the concert with was called One Voice. You know, the latest.
And I love this. I really love that name, actually. One Voice.
So the song goes, one voice singing in the darkness, and then that kind of gives me chills, because it reminds me of, you know, that idea of it starts with you. And you have the confidence within you. And you can have the ability to change other people's lives with your voice. And it doesn't matter if it's like singing. It could be through dance. It could be through art. It could be through sport. But you have that ability to change people's lives just because you have that that inspiration and that drive within you, and it inspires people.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
So that name came from that.
And you know, from then on, then you had Kindermusik.
So Kindermusik actually came about because a friend of mine taught Kindermusik in Queensland, and the program runs all around the world. It's in Asia, it's everywhere in America. And so when my son was about to be born, my friend said, you know, you should go and run one here. So I decided that same week to to call up and get my license to teach it. And then I established my school, the Kindermusik program in Castle Hill and at Rouse Hill in Sydney. And that had been going for 10 years. But it was because I wanted to learn how important music was for children and for babies. Because babies can hear their mum's voice when they're in the womb. And it's just a great way to help with their development in their brains, and also their physical development. Like for kids, for toddlers, it's wonderful to learn how to keep the steady beat. Because then they'll be able to bounce balls to the steady beat. And even cut with scissors, because that's all timing.
So true.
It's all timing. So if you teach your baby and your child about timing and keeping that steady beat, like even through bouncing, bouncing them, or tapping on them, or rocking,
moving,
that all adds up and helps with their brain development.
That's beautiful.
And it's amazing. Like once I knew all those techniques, I would apply it to Christian,
yes.
who's my son.
Will you tell us about your son? I was going to ask you, you know, how do you balance this? You know, you've got a business and then you've got your son. What do you do for bonding? Is music part of that? I'm sure it's a big part of your life.
Well, Christian is his own little person. He loves sport. He loves soccer. Music is a big part of his life as well, but he mainly does a lot of sport. So we do a lot of balancing of sport and music.
Yes.
He's just recently learnt the guitar at school.
Yeah.
So he'd come home and he'd say, "Oh, Mum, I've learned a new song.
Yeah.
Can I sing? I'd play it for you while you sing."
Oh, how sweet!
Yeah. So he'd be like, he's very cute. He'd be like,
really good.
he'd be like this, strumming the guitar, and then he'd go like this for me to start singing. You know. So he gives me that timing. But yeah, it's a great way for him to again develop himself. He doesn't like to do it for performance.
Yes.
Like he doesn't want to do it on stage.
Yes.
And I respect that because I don't want to push him too much in any of the direction that I went through.
Yeah.
But I just want him to find his own passion.
Yeah, and it's just a nice bonding time for you guys as well.
Yeah, you know, I teach him the Running Man. So he'll put on his favorite song and he'll do you know, beautiful. His moves, and Rob and I will do our old school moves.
Yeah.
You know, step by step.
I love it. I love all this. You know, I just love that you're really passionate about kids. And I heard you've got something that's brewing. So tell us about the project that's coming up, Tina.
So the project is called Project Be Heard.
Yes.
And we're doing a crowdfunding campaign to help generate funds to create a film clip to my Be Heard song.
Yeah.
So the song is about, you know, being empowered to not be afraid to sing out or express yourself. And then apart from that, we not only want to create a film clip, but we want to help put a child through a 10-week Kids Express program.
That's beautiful, yeah.
So Kids Express is a non-profit organisation which help children who are traumatised using music and art therapy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's something that I didn't know existed.
No, and it's good because you're bringing the, you know, awareness to it. But I didn't know about it until
Well, I didn't know about it until 2 years ago. I actually was lucky enough to sing with a girl called Ellie-O. Do you know Ellie-O? No. She was on The Voice.
Okay, yes.
So she was one of the finalists in The Voice, and she was invited to the Prime Minister's house at the time. Yes. And we sang at Kirribilli House for that event, for a Kids Express event, just to thank their donors. Right. And then that's how I learnt about how powerful the work, what they're doing, how powerful it was. So it takes $3,000 to put a child through a 10-week
for the program. Yeah.
So that's what we're aiming to raise. We wanted to.
That's amazing, Tina.
To aim to
so
raise
if anyone wants to support and, you know, show some love, there'd be down here there'd be a link. Yeah. In the video, so make sure you click on that link to find out more how you can support this program.
Yeah, and it's great because it's not really to teach a child to sing. It's about expressing yourself through
their feelings through the music.
Through music or through art.
So beautiful. Well, I'm enjoying your CD too, Tina.
Oh, thank you.
So Tina has signed this especially for me.
Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I love it. And you know, will you tell us what is your favorite song in this album?
Oh, my favourite song would have to be a song that I wrote for Christian. I wrote it. It's called Tomorrow It'll Be a Better Day.
Oh, will you sing us a few lines?
Yeah. So the lines came from, actually, it was the reason why I really like this song is because it just kind of, the lyrics just flowed out because I was watching him sleeping and I just wrote.
Oh, see, that's the beautiful thing about music. It just comes from within and it's so natural.
Yeah. And then the guy I co-wrote it with is Van Sereno, who's also Filipino. Oh, right. He helped me with the music and so did you want me to sing it?
Yes, please. Yeah.
So anyway, the story why I wanted to tell you about it is because I was watching him and we had a bad day that day. It was a struggle. He was 3 at the time. And so the song goes, The nightlight warms your face, your skin so soft to touch. I love it when your long lashes just flutters into your deep sleep. Hairline from daddy's why, nose from your mommy's ex. Every gene a perfect blend to your baby chino skin. Every fragrant breath breathes a new life. Tomorrow it'll be a better day. We can't say we didn't really try. Tomorrow it'll be a better day.
Yay! So good. Thank you so much, Tina.
That's okay.
I have one last question for you. But before that, you guys can get this CD from iTunes, and we'll send you the link down below.
Yeah.
But Tina, I have one last question for you, and it's all about one voice, and I'm so inspired by you today. Really,
thanks.
if you had one voice, one message to the world today, what would it be?
I would say that your voice is important. It doesn't matter who you are, where you've come from. It matters that, it's all within you, that your voice is important, and don't be afraid to use it.
Yes.
And if you need to go and find coaches to help you do that, then do it. Take that step. And it's their job and your job to find the magic within you and to share it with the world. Because your voice is so important. And I have a tagline which is, one voice can change the world.
Yeah.
And it can. It just starts off with one person.
Good. So
good. And that's why
good.
children are so important for me, because if you can give a child that confidence to share their voice, it starts with them.
From that,
and then the world's going to be so much better.
So good.
Yeah,
Thank you so much,
welcome.
Tina. And that's one thing I
me.
learned from you is, the very start of this interview was about you putting your hand up. I remember you saying to me that your teacher was saying we needed someone to, put their hand up and teach the kids. And you were courageous, taking that opportunity. And out of this, I've learned so much, but that's one thing that stood out for me, was that we need to be courageous to take the opportunity that's, been put, ahead of us, and just grab it.
It does, it is. And then that opportunity leads to something else.
Yes.
And it evolves. And that's what my singing school has done. It's evolved. I've evolved, and it's all part of the journey.
So thank you so much, Tina, for coming today. I'm so blessed to have you with me.
Oh, me too. Thank you.
And for everyone that's watching today, I pray that you were inspired. I had learned so much from Tina and her courageous faith of taking that opportunity when it was presented to her. So my question to you is, what lessons have you learned from this conversation? What insights have you gained from listening in today? And I pray that you'll take an action. You'll start to think, what can I apply within my life, from this conversation. And I hope you're inspired. Again, my name is Fideliz Cruz. I'm your personal stylist and life coach. And remember that your vision is greater than your fear, and your actions are the evidence of your faith. So show up and keep shining, because you were made for a purpose and the world needs you.